On KC24, your local election headquarters.
Back with our panel now. We got Gary Bredefeld, Jim Veros, Eric Payne joining us here. We got a lot to talk about. Councilman, I wanted to ask you first about something that you authored that passed this past week unanimously. I think it was 5 votes to 0. A couple of the council members weren't there. And it has the mayor's support. This is something that would allow businesses to start development without having all the permits signed off and finished and everything. You say this really would speed up business.
Absolutely. It's called at-risk permitting. Basically, once their plans are approved, then they can move forward. They can start building an industrial building, a commercial building, residential building. They have to meet all the same standards, all the same specifications, pay all the same fees, but they build at their own risk. But it speeds up the process, and it certainly makes us user-friendly, business-friendly. The mayor helped us with this. 2 council members, Brandow and Chavez, were also instrumental in the private sector. We worked on this together. So it's a great thing for Fresno. It's going to really help us.
How did you hear about this? Was this something that had been brought to you as a problem, or did you see
we were working on money-back guarantee, which ran into some of its own challenges. And then one of the things that came up in the private sector was this at-risk permitting. So we looked into this, we explored it, then we worked with the mayor and other council members, and everybody came forward.
That's interesting. I mean, when you put it out there to everybody, no problem, huh?
Oh, no. Everybody recognizes this is going to really speed up the business in Fresno.
Let me ask about this sugary drink bill, gentlemen, that's out there right now. This passed the Senate. In fact, it passed the state Senate 32-7. Basically, this is for restaurants that sell children's meals, like kids' meals. Then they could only offer, you get water, you get sparkling water, flavored water, unflavored milk, or a non-dairy milk alternative. No chocolate milk even, and no juice, no soft drinks. Not that you can't get those things. The parent can request them, but it's not going to be on the menu, and it's not going to be offered as an option. This is something that is going through Sacramento right now. As I mentioned, past the Senate. It's now going to go back to the Assembly for a committee vote and then a full vote. What do we think about this? Eric, what do we think? Is this, I mean, we have huge problems with childhood obesity, not just in this country. I mean, here in California.
We do, and while I'm not a doctor, certainly I would say that I think, you know, parents, if they want their kids to have those things, then they're going to have them, whether the school provides them or not. So.
And this isn't just school, you know, this is restaurants that they would be legislating here. Jim, what?
I'm not trying to make the councilman smile here, but I will say this. So we're going to legalize cannabis, but we're going to ban sugary drinks. That's where we're at in Sacramento right now. We're going to legalize cannabis, but we're going to ban Coca-Cola. Got it. It's going to be a great couple of years in this state.
You know, there's probably some people out there that say that Coca-Cola is more dangerous than
and they've been
cannabis.
Smoking a lot of cannabis.
And I know that just saying that just makes your blood boil.
Evan, I don't know how we ever survived without government. I mean, they tell us which light bulbs to use, which cars to drive, that we need solar panels, which health insurance we should have, and now how to teach our children how to drink.
I set them up a little bit on that one. So.
Well, sure. But at the same time, Eric, let me bring you back in on this, because, I mean, this is Democrats driving the bus on this thing here. They say that this is a public health crisis. I mean, and it is. I don't want to make light of this.
It is.
Childhood obesity is a big problem, and they say if you take away some of these options, then there will be a sea change in behavior over generationals. What do you think?
I think, you know, again, I think that disadvantaged communities and neighborhoods are oversaturated with fast food swamps like McDonald's and KFC, and I think that if those are the only things that disadvantaged at-risk folks have access to, then we need to provide better options. And if the industry is not going to do it, then government is going to regulate.
I believe McDonald's has already done this themselves, that they don't offer soft drinks, or maybe they offer juice with their kids' meals, but I don't think
juice, water, or
they don't offer soft drinks. You can get a soft drink, but they don't offer it with their kids' meals.
Once again, you're turning us into curmudgeons on this one.
I know.
But I will say this: when I was a kid, McDonald's and fast food restaurants was a treat. It wasn't a regular meal, so to speak, or in the regular cycle, so to speak, of dinners. So I never really saw a problem with it, considering that we only went to those places on a special occasion. And somewhere along the line over the past 30 years, it's gone from, and like what Eric was talking about, is it just gone into the regular cycle of dinner options, and we do need to rein it in, or is it just we've gotten lazy? I'm not sure, but I'm not sure banning drinks and Happy Meals is going to make us all thinner. I'm not sure
I will say, I do try to avoid fast food like the plague. because I'm getting to the age where you eat one fast food meal and you could see it and feel it for like 3 days after that. But I did go and I ordered, I think I had a medium. They asked, do you want a large size, that combo? I said, no, I'll take a medium. They handed me a drink, I swear it was an extra large.
Huge.
But it was a medium.
That's another thing too. Take a look at what small, medium, large was back 30 years ago now.
Yeah, it is a big difference. Really quick, I just want to get you guys' reaction to this race that we're seeing in District 3, Fresno City Council. It's now our last check. We're talking on Thursday. 6 votes separating second from third. Tate Hill, 6 votes ahead of Darren Miller, obviously looking for that second place to get into the race in November against Miguel Arias. That is a close race, and they're still counting votes. If it ended up, if it was you and you finished in third place here, would you request a recount?
No, I would.
Because you'd have to pay for it. That's
yeah,
how the
you have to
rules
pay
go.
for it, but no, I would just be saying to myself, what didn't I do that I should have done more of? And it would have been walking, because that's the most important thing you can do, is knocking on people's doors and talking to them, telling them who you are and what you intend to do. And, you know, it's really shows how every vote counts. People say their vote doesn't count. When people are separated by 6 votes, every vote counts. And it's disheartening that there's only about 4,000 or 5,000 votes in the entire district. In my district, there were 30,000. People need to get out and vote, and it matters.
It really does.
It does, and I remember sitting on election night talking about your race in the primary, and you were at 49.3%. I mean, how many
Well,
votes?
I was at 50, and when they did the absentees,
Right, it just dropped. So I mean, once again, it goes back, and we talked about it before the primary election in District 3 was how many people were going to get out and knock on doors, and then once again, 6 votes at this point.
Now, I'm being told that we're out of time right now, but gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. Had a
Great to
good
be
time
here.
talking
Thanks.
with you. And we got